Alright, let's go ahead and start with section 6.7. Now section 6.7 talks about the applications of rational expressions. Where would you use rational expressions? Now we're looking at a couple different examples here just to get an idea of how to work with them. Now the first type of example we're looking at is talking about how to solve problems about numbers. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our problem here is. Now it says if the same number is added to the numerator and subtracted from the denominator of 23 over 12. So you take one number, add it to the numerator and subtract it from the denominator. The resulting fraction is equivalent to 3 over 2. Okay, so once you do this top part, it says whatever you come up with, that resulting fraction is equivalent to 3 over 2. What is that number? When they say what is the number, they're talking about this number that you're adding and subtracting from your 23 over 12. Okay, so of course the first thing would be to set up an equation. If you're going to solve an equation, you have to set it up. It's really straightforward. We are saying you have the expression 23 over 12. And from this expression, you are adding the same number to the numerator and subtracting the same number from the denominator. So we will go ahead and say let the number be x, because that's the unknown, right? We don't know what that is, so we will go ahead and call it x. So add the same number to the numerator, which means that we will add x to the numerator, and then it says subtract from the denominator. So you're subtracting the same number from the denominator. Okay, so that is the first part of your problem. The second part says the resulting fraction is equivalent to 3/2. So this means once you add and subtract from your numerator and denominator, this resulting fraction is equivalent to 3/2. And you have your equation. So as you can see, all the information you needed was right here in the problem. Alright, let's go ahead and see what our x is. So you have 23 plus x equal over 12 minus x equals 3/2. So how do you go ahead and solve this? Just like you did in section 6.6. You will go ahead and find your least common denominator first, which will be 2 times 12 minus x, because there's nothing common between these two numbers, so you just multiply them and you have 2 times 12 minus x as your common denominator. Now multiply both sides of your equation by this LCD, and you will see what happens here. The 12 minus x and the 12 minus x will cancel out, and you're left with 2 times 23 plus x. On the other side, the 2 and the 2 will cancel out, leaving you with 3 times 12 minus x, which would have been the same thing if you would have just cross multiplied your two terms, your 23 plus x times 2, which is what you ended up with here, and then 12 minus x times 3, which is what you ended up on the other side. So either way, you would have come up with the same exact problem solution here. Now let's go ahead and distribute our 2, which will give us 46 plus 2x, which will equal 36 minus 3x. Get your like terms on the same side. I'll go ahead and move the 3x over on this side, which will give us 5x. Go ahead and move the 46 over to the other side. This should still be the same. 36 minus 46 will give us a negative 10 as our answer. to get x by itself, we divide both sides by 5, and you will end up with x equals -2. Now if you want, you can go back and check your answer. You had 23 plus -2 equals 12 minus -2. Remember, you were adding and subtracting that same number from your numerator and denominator. And it says the resulting fraction should equal 3/2. So let's see if you equal 3/2 if you solve this. So this will give you 23 minus 2, which is 21. The two negatives will become positives. You end up with 12 plus 2, which is 14. 21 and 14 will both go into 7. 7 will go into 21 3 times. 7 will go into 14 2 times. And you can see you ended up with 3/2 as your resulting fraction. So this tells you that x equals -2 is the right answer. Okay?